Alright, I'm gonna cut these leaves off of here. I'm not really getting stems, I'm just getting the leaves. This is where I've been growing my basil at. I'm gonna make some basil infused olive oil, so I want to get these leaves. You could probably do the stems too, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get the leaves. Get the good green ones, and I want a cup or two of these leaves. So I'm gonna keep on clipping these until I have a couple cups. I'll do that until I have a couple cups, and then I'll be back. All right, I cut off most of my basil from this half. Still got that basil left. And I've got about a cup and a half of basil leaves here. And then I've also got some stems that I probably will blend up with these leaves. So let's get inside. Let's put our olive oil and our basil leaves into the blender. Alright, I'm back in the kitchen. I cut all these basil leaves off the plants, or off the plant. I got 2 cups here. Just the leaves, I didn't do the stems. So I'm gonna blend these up. I'm actually gonna pour my olive oil. I'm gonna pour about 2 cups into this measuring cup and just drizzle it into the blender as it goes, so that way I don't put too little or too much. And we'll blend it up and then we'll get it on the stove. I'm actually going to do about a cup right now. Alright, there's a cup. Alright, so about 3/4 of a cup to 2 cups of basil leaf. That's the ratio that you need to do. Had a little spill. Alright, I got that mess cleaned up. Make sure there's no oil on the bottom of your pot. Right now, this is what it looks like in there. But I'm actually going to put a little more oil in there because we're going to be straining out this this basil anyway. And you gotta simmer this. Don't let it boil, just simmer it on medium-high heat for about 15-20 minutes. Let all those beneficial properties of the basil render out of there and go into the oil. Now, the healthier the oil you're doing this with, the better, you know. Alright, I'm gonna get this on the heat. Alright, I'm going to get that going and we'll be back. make sure to stir it every so often. I've got my heat right now a little lower than medium. I'm just letting this simmer. You can smell that basil. And all that basil is going to render out into this olive oil. And then I'll get my cheesecloth. Got my cheesecloth right here. I'll put it over my clean mason jar and I'll strain it. And then I will have it for safekeeping. You can keep it out for about a week and then you can refrigerate it for longer storage. I'm about 6 minutes in right now. I've got the timer set for 15 minutes. I've got 9 minutes left. I've got it simmering. I actually put it down to a low medium so that way it can just simmer at a low heat. That way you don't get it too hot and burn out those properties you're trying to incorporate into this oil. And it's still simmering, you see that? Smells awesome. Okay, with this cheesecloth, you've got these holes in it. See how you can see my shirt? And so you want to double it up, maybe triple it up, so that way you don't get those particles of your basil into your oil. So what I do, I lay it down like that, and then I flip it once, and I flip it twice. So that way it's triple layered. Now you can hardly see my shirt. You see that? Way better. Come over here. Dip it in about that much. So you've got about like that. And then you can pour it in whenever you're done. Whenever you're done on the stove, this is what you'll strain into. And then you'll have finished product right in here. And you can store it, on the counter. And you can do that for a week. And then after that, just put it in the refrigerator for longer keeping, And I'm actually going to pour some of the olive oil that I did this without the basil, in here so that way you can see the difference, the before and after difference. So stay tuned. Alright guys, I've waited. I did it for 15 minutes and I've waited probably about 3 minutes. Probably should wait about 5 minutes so that way this will cool off. You're not handling it right as it comes off and trying to strain it right as it comes off of the oven. It's pretty hot then. So now I'm just going to strain it. Get the rest of that basil out of there, because afterwards you're going to squeeze your cloth and get the rest of that out of there. Had a little spill, but not too much. Now I've got what's left in here. I'm just going to strain out. Ooh, that's hot. Yeah, I'd wait at least 5 minutes. Now that right there, guys, is finished product. That right there is Basil Infused Olive Oil. Smells delicious. And this right here is the olive oil I did it with. Just some great value extra virgin olive oil from Walmart. But that's what it did look like. So you see, it infused a lot of those properties out of that basil into the oil. Look at that. Look at the difference in that. Way more healthier. Not so much. Plus, you know, Walmart. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video, man. Thumbs up, share it, like it, and subscribe if you want to see more. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.